She told me not to open the box, so I did. The old wooden box sat on the mantelpiece, unassuming, yet it hummed with a silent intensity that drew my eye every time I entered the living room. Eleanor, my grandmother, who was 88 then, had placed it there herself, her frail hands surprisingly steady. "Don't open this box, Michael," she'd said, her voice a low, gravelly whisper, her gaze unusually stern. "My name's Michael Thorne, and I'm 35 now, but back then, 3 years ago, I felt like a curious kid again, caught between obedience and an overwhelming urge to know. And, of course, I opened it. Grandma Eleanor had always been a woman of quiet mysteries. She never told me not to do anything without a good reason, usually a very practical one. So this almost ceremonial warning about an old, unadorned box, it gnawed at me. My parents, Susan and Robert Thorne, both in their 60s, just shrugged when I mentioned it. "Your grandma's always had her quirks," my mom would say with a fond smile. They never asked about the box, never seemed to notice its silent pull. I waited a week, maybe 2. Each day, the box seemed to call to me, its smooth, dark wood holding untold secrets. One afternoon, when the house was empty and silent, my girlfriend, Sarah, who was 32 at the time, was at work. I was alone. No one to stop me, no one to judge. My heart hammered with a mix of trepidation and childish excitement. My fingers trembled slightly as I reached for it. It wasn't locked, just a simple, almost rusted clasp holding the lid down. I took a deep breath, the scent of old wood and something faintly metallic filling my nostrils. The clasp clicked open with a soft, final sound that echoed in the quiet room. I lifted the lid, and inside, nestled on a bed of faded velvet, wasn't what I expected. No jewels, no old letters, no forgotten trinkets. Instead, there was a single, perfectly preserved pressed flower. A vibrant, impossible blue, unlike any flower I had ever seen. And beneath it, a tiny, almost invisible, silver key. That was all. A flower, a key. But as I looked at them, a strange chill ran down my spine, a feeling of immense, ancient power emanating from the simple contents. It wasn't what I expected, but it was far more unsettling. The box closed with a soft thud, and the silence in the room felt profound, changed. I had opened the box. And now, I had no idea what I had truly found.